Hello!
Hey there!
Welcome back to the Tom and Jerry Experience, and you are?
I'm Captain Tom,
Outstanding.
and you are?
I'm Sailor Jerry. Great to have you back. A bit of a windy day today.
Yeah.
But you know, it's all good. The weather's nice. You can't see, but I'm actually wearing shorts today, so that's a good thing. You know, in our previous episode, we were talking about if people could bring something back, right? What would it be? Whether it be like a restaurant, like a place, or a venue, or something like that.
Right. Something they really liked.
I wanted to share a few of the logos, if you will, for some of the places that people mentioned. The first one, and this is probably more of a local thing. I know that local people said Gold Star. They kind of...
you mean Gold Circle?
Gold Circle, yeah, Gold Star. That's actually...
I was going to say Gold Star's still around.
Yeah, they're still around. My bad.
That's okay, dude.
But anyway, Gold Circle, yes. Are you able to bring that picture up? Producer CJ. All right, outstanding. So what you either are seeing now or just saw, that is the logo for Gold Circle. The next one was pretty popular. We had a few people mention this. Toys R Us.
I was going to say Toys R Us. Yeah.
They already...
Good old Jeffrey.
Yeah. So...
He'll call you on your birthday.
See, there you go. Yeah.
Now, see, I didn't know that one. I
Yeah.
never got a call.
You know what? Me neither. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I don't
that must
know.
have been before, a minute
Yeah.
after our time.
It was before phones. No, I'm just kidding.
No, it was after we were a kid.
Yeah, there you
Or
go.
a younger kid.
A younger kid, yeah. Hey, I'm still a kid. Come
So am I. Hey, I'm 65 and still alive.
See,
So, there you go.
hey, we're happy for it too. We're happy for it.
Yeah.
And then there's another. I saw this logo. This is, Wikipedia type stuff I was looking up. And there's I believe we have a picture that shows a lot of different places that, things from the past. Producer CJ, what are some of the places that are on this particular logo?
I read them in order. It says Swallowins, Gold Circle, Rinks.
Rinks, okay.
Levitt's Furniture.
Levitt's Furniture.
Levitt's, yeah. Love it at
yeah.
Levitt's. That was their logo.
Yeah.
Van Lunen's Thriftway.
Okay, Thriftway, yeah.
Zoe, S-O-8, Sohio.
Sohio, it's a gas
Ohio.
station.
It was called Standard of Ohio was why it was Ohio.
I didn't know that.
And it had this oval looking deal.
Gotcha.
And it was red, white, and blue.
Yes, Sohio. I remember Sohio.
And it was taken over by BP.
Gotcha. I didn't know that either. See, some more useless information that Captain Tom.
But hey, it comes in handy, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. Absolutely, because I did not know that. So
yeah.
There's a couple more. There's Burger Chef, and then there's one more.
Oh,
burgers. Yes.
I can't quite read that. I'll try to zoom in on it a little bit.
Okay. But can you read it though?
I'm sure I am to get there. Arthur
Treacher's.
So, fun fact: my mom worked there,
and so did your Aunt Nancy.
Yeah, they worked at Arthur. That was a nice fish
and
chip
it was
place,
right near
where
Nancy lived.
Yeah.
Well, actually, where all y'all lived, because didn't you guys still live down on
like Ashbrook at the
end of the street?
Yep.
Yeah, it was
sure was. All right, this just in. We have a couple dad jokes.
I'll let you go first.
You let me go first?
Yes.
Oh, well, this just in. All right. Let's see. Let me skip that. Okay. Here it is right here. This just in. Why does Waldo only wear stripes? I guess like the Finding Waldo.
Where's Waldo?
Right. So why does Waldo only wear stripes? You ready? Because he doesn't want to be spotted. Finding Waldo. Hey, it makes sense.
Yeah.
I hear there might be somebody you might have.
I've got a dad joke for you.
Oh boy. Here we go.
There were these two brothers.
All right.
And one was kind of crazy and everything. And the one brother left his dog with his brother and went out of town.
Okay.
And he calls up and he says, "How's my dog?" And the guy's like, "Well, your dog died. He got hit by a car and died."
Oh no.
So the guy gets mad and hangs up.
Oh, jeez.
Calls back a couple days later and said, "I'm sorry I got mad. You could have really let me down a little easier."
Right.
Saying you could have said my dog was on the roof and we couldn't get him down. Then I could have called back later, and you could have said the dog fell off the roof, and we had to take it to the vet. And then I could have called back a third time. You could have said it died at the vet. And I could have maybe handled it a little better.
Yeah, yeah.
In all my anger, I forgot to ask you, how's Mom? And the other brother's thinking for a minute. Mom's on the roof and she can't get her down. I thought you'd like that one.
I think everybody's gonna like that one. All right, good. All right, so offline, if you recall, I kind of called you and I said, hey, I kind of gave you a homework assignment, and not everybody on who watches the show knows both of us a lot, right? Because there's people that I know that never met you before.
Except maybe the majority of them.
Right. The 5 that watch us every day. No, but so anyway, so I asked you, I said, hey, Captain Tom, let's tell the audience something about ourselves that most people probably don't know. So like with you, tell us something about Captain Tom that maybe most people don't know.
Okay, well, I went to a school called Condon. That's not what I'm talking about.
Okay.
I was in the choir when I was older, and would do sing solos at
nice.
at Condon School for our little. We didn't like go around town and do them.
Right.
Actually, one time we actually did perform on Channel 5
wow, nice.
at Christmas time.
So that's our NBC affiliate in this area we live in. Yeah,
that's an NBC. Yeah.
Nice.
But I'd sang solos here and there. One I sang, and I don't remember how it.
You're not going to give us a sample, okay?
Because I can't.
right.
It was and if anybody knows this, let us know. The third verse of the Battle Hymn of the Republic.
Okay, gotcha.
And then one thing I remember doing, and I can do a little bit of it. I don't remember all of it either. I mean, we're talking 50 years ago now.
Right, sure.
There was a show called You're a Good Man, Charlie Brown.
Oh, yeah.
And now, generally in the cartoons, Snoopy did talk.
Right.
But it was a play.
Right, okay.
And then it was made into a movie later on.
So it's like a musical play type of thing.
Yeah, I would imagine.
Okay.
Now, I didn't dress up as Snoopy. But we did a song called Supper Time where Charlie Brown comes in and says, hey, Snoopy, it's supper time. And then Snoopy starts going, it's supper time. Yes, it's supper time.
Yes.
And when supper time comes in, supper be far away.
Yes, we have a sample.
Fortunately, I don't remember the rest of the words.
That's
or
okay.
Maybe fortunately for the ones that are going to say, yeah, I'm glad you did.
Right.
But
some people might be like, I think I forgot the words.
I've been told in my life to sing tenor.
Okay.
10 or 12 miles down the road.
Oh, this just
that was just
another joke.
Now, you already said yours.
I haven't said mine yet.
You said the one about Waldo.
That was the joke. Yeah.
Yeah, your joke.
No, but I have not mentioned something about me that most people may not know.
A lot of people may not know.
That is correct.
But that's about it for me. I mean, I could sit here and probably think about other things.
Yeah, but that's a good one. That's a good example. All right. I'll give you one. I'll give you one thing about me that that's maybe unique that most people may not know. So I'll just say this. I have visited probably 15 different countries. Okay? But I've never had a passport a day in my life. But I've visited at least 15 different countries, right? So obviously we know I'm Sailor Jerry. I was in the Navy.
You were in the Navy.
Correct. But like I said,
being in the Navy these days, you might have to, but that's another story.
So
that's another show.
I thought of our producer CJ, right? And it got me to thinking, well, there's probably something about our wonderful producer. He's our design supervisor. He's the guy who does our engineering.
If it wasn't for him, we wouldn't be here.
Right. We wouldn't be doing this. All right. So something about our producer CJ that you might not know. And here's a picture. Okay. Is the picture up? Okay. So check this out. So the picture you're seeing, and I'm sorry, what part of the choir are you as what, Mr. CJ?
Tenor.
He is the tenor and not 10 or 12 miles away. So he is also, the picture that you're seeing was taken at Music Hall, which is a historic place in downtown Cincinnati.
For those who don't know it.
Yes, he is literally, the choir, not the choir, but the orchestra that every year for Christmas they put on a performance. It's a wonderful show.
Yes.
And Christian he's in this 8-person group called Meridian 8 is what the name of them.
Cool.
And he got the him and his fellow Meridian 8ers were afforded the opportunity to actually sing on the stage in front of, what is there, probably thousands of people that are hundreds upon thousands of people that are in this music hall. And that's him right there. I mean, how cool is that?
Was it recorded for anything?
Well, it did go live. I may have a recording. I don't have it on us now, but I may have the recording of the song they did. Absolutely. It was a really good song. And what was what was it? Here Comes Santa Claus?
Santa Claus is coming to town.
Santa Claus is coming to town. Oh, It was great. The song was great. And they did in the picture. I mean, he's right there in front of the fans just having a great time.
And that just happened to be one of my all-time favorite Christmas songs.
Oh, really? Did not see. Learn something new every day.
Well, yeah, my keychain has Meridian 8 logo on it.
Oh, well, that's over there, so on the counter, so sorry. But we can look at that later. But, well, great. Thank you, CJ, for sharing and allowing me to share against your, no. So, go ahead.
You said you went to different countries.
Yes.
Do you know how to speak any of the languages?
No.
Okay. The only reason why I asked that, and I'm about to embarrass the hell out of you.
No, that's okay.
When your mom and dad came back to town, and you came back to town when your dad was stationed in Panama.
So, like the country Panama.
Yeah, was stationed in Panama.
Okay.
You would talk, jibber jabber, whatever you want to call it, as a 2-year-old child, folks, in Spanish.
Wow.
And I guess you don't remember that.
No.
But you would say stuff in Spanish and we wouldn't know what you were saying.
Really?
Or
wow.
You know,
that's pretty cool.
Maybe when you get with your dad, maybe he can
enlighten me on some of the words.
Elaborate on his story.
That's good. That's good stuff. Now I posted on our page a question about share with us some of the craziest or darndest, as our producer said, and this is actually his idea. Some of the craziest or darndest things that your kids have ever said. It kind of reminded us of what was that show you were talking about?
Oh, you mean kids say the darndest things?
Yeah, kind of
back in the day with Art Linkletter.
There's that phrase again. Back in the day. Yeah.
Well, that's because we're from back in the day,
right? That's when life was fun, right? Back in the day,
when life was more. What's the word I want?
I don't know. Simple, maybe. I don't know.
More simple.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Simple, and you don't have to. You can go outside without worrying about things going on and stuff like that.
So I have a few examples of things that the darndest things that people say. Al, he's the one that lives in Florida. He has contributed before.
Pastime computer.
Yes, absolutely.
However you want to say this, we got to come up with a new
right
logo for that one.
Yeah, that's true. So Al says, "Dad, what's a payphone?" So I guess his kid asking that, "What's a payphone?"
What's a payphone?
That's right. And for those who don't know, it's simple. It was a phone out there in the street. You put a couple quarter or two something in there, and then you can make a phone call.
Actually, you're gonna love it. I got a real quick story about that. Somewhere in this town, I guess it's no longer around anyway. But back when we had getting very few payphones left.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, it went to 50 cents at one time.
Okay, ooh, big time.
But somewhere, I was like, I don't remember what part of town, but there was an actual payphone that only cost a dime.
Wow.
And this was in the 90s.
And I kind of remember the dime, you know what I mean? But then it eventually went up to like the quarter. And then, like you said, like 50 cents.
50 cents, yeah. And then cell phones came into being.
Right. So, no need for payphones anymore, right?
And if you watch the very first Superman movie with Christopher Reeve, the late Christopher Reeve.
I know where you're going with this, but go ahead.
He went to look at a payphone to get in a payphone to change into Superman.
Yes.
And it was a payphone, but it was open.
Right.
And it was like a little booth.
So remind me on our next episode, we're going to get a picture of a old school payphone inside of a phone booth. Because I'm telling you, there are a lot of people who have never seen that.
I'll tell you where you could see one. Not in live, but I reference a lot of movies and TV, folks. I'm sorry.
Yeah, so do I. That's because we're men.
But,
we do that.
There was a movie with Matthew Broderick called War Games.
Yes.
And in that movie, he's using a payphone.
Was it inside of a booth?
It was a phone booth.
Like a glass. Yeah, those are so cool.
Another movie that people in this town and people might know, Rain Man.
Yes.
In that movie, they were both in a phone booth at one point.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Well, we'll get a picture of that in a future episode so that our viewing audience can see what that's like. And quite honestly, they protected you from the weather. You could get a little bit of privacy, because if you're having a private conversation. So, yeah, I remember those. They were, hey, not going to lie. I mean, especially when I was stationed all over the place, I would use them all the time. All right, so back to the original question. Darndest things. So Al says, hey, we mentioned that one. Dad, what's a payphone? Brenda, so she has said, she has contributed before. She says that about 9 years ago, she was carrying her 2-year-old grandnephew in Texas Roadhouse, and they went past the payphone and said, I couldn't believe it. But anyway, my nephew said, that's a big hello. Wow.
That's cute.
Nancy, who has contributed in the past. And you know what, Nancy? You're one of our number one contributors. We thank you for that.
And she was one of the ones that worked at Dorothy Creatures.
Yes. And by the way, we're going to start getting some Tom and Jerry
merchandise,
and she's gonna be the first one to get some merch. All right, she says, I like this story here. She says, my grandson called me for a long time. None of us could figure out why.
Yes.
Then my husband called to me from the backyard and he said, hey hun. Then her grandson said, mystery solved. That's why he called her
Yeah, that's one of your cousins.
Now here, Debbie, who is a first-time contributor, Debbie says, Mom, those boys are smoking dough in the woods. LOL. She says, LOL. The boys are smoking dough in the woods. So she says that's the funniest thing.
How did you spell dough, though?
Well, she spelled it just D-O-H. But we know what she's talking
Homer
about.
Simpson.
Yeah, dope. Smoking the dope in the woods. All right, so for me, I have a couple gems here. And one of them is from our producer, our wonderful, tenor producer here, CJ. So years ago, CJ asked me if when I was a kid, if we used feather pens at school. To which I responded, no, but guess what? We use typewriters, which I think he still had a confused look on his face, like, what's a typewriter? So another funny, my oldest child, Josh, he's not on Facebook, but he'll see the YouTube. So years ago, this was around, you may recall a movie called Forrest Gump. Okay.
Yeah, very well.
So he, my oldest at the time, was maybe about 3 years old. He was talking pretty good and stuff. Anyway, he got a new pair of shoes, put him up in his chair for the car for the ride home. And I swear to you, he points at his shoes and he says, those are my magic shoes. Swear to God. With that accent.
With that voice.
He said, those are my magic shoes. And I about died laughing. Another funny thing, at the time we were living in Florida. Okay. Oftentimes, my mother-in-law at the time lived in a town called Melbourne, Florida.
Okay.
Which I know we have a couple listeners that are in that area. But anyway, so we would travel from Jacksonville, Florida, down to Melbourne, Florida, which is about a 2.5-hour drive one way. Well, you would always see signs for Miami because that was the big, when you're going southbound, that's the big city.
Yeah.
So you would always see signs for how many miles it was to get to Miami. All right, so anyway. So this one time, it was him and I in the car.
You're talking about Josh.
Josh, yes.
Okay.
He was like about the same age, right? And we're heading down, and I saw a sign that said, 180 miles to Miami. I said, hey, Josh, instead of, hey, you want to go to Miami? And I swear to you, he responds and he says, Miami? I don't want to go to Urami. But I got one more. No, and this is also, we should, maybe we'll have an episode Joshisms when he was like under the age of 10, because he said some funny stuff.
Or other kidisms.
Yeah, kidisms, right? But anyway, so I was overseas. We mentioned that I was in the military. I was overseas, okay? And we were visiting, I told you I visited 15 different countries. Well, one of the countries we visited was Greece. We were actually visiting, there was a town called Corfu, Greece, okay?
Okay.
So anyway, I made a phone call from one of those world famous payphones. And I was talking to him on the phone, and I simply said, hey, your dad is in Greece. And he replied, he says, well, you better get a rag and wipe yourself off. So I didn't have the heart to tell him whenever I went to Turkey. So he would have been really confused on that one. But anyway.
Yes.
So yeah, we got, let me see. I don't know if I have any other contributors to that. We do not. But just wanted to share. Thank you for those who shared.
Yes, thank you very much.
That information. Now, we wanted to segue a little bit into another topic. This is our final topic for today. Our final front row parking topic, if you will. Okay. And it's kind of similar. We were talking a lot about, hey, if you could go back in time, what would you do? Where would you go? Blah, blah, blah.
Right.
So I got to thinking, if you could go back in time and tell your teenage self something, one bit of advice.
Yeah.
That's how you're able to do. You're able to just give one bit of advice to your teenage self. Okay.
Because I got several.
What would it be? So let me share a few.
Go ahead.
And then we'll share ours. I'd have CJ, but he's still kind of in that, we'll ask him that in 10 years from now, when we get an Emmy for the show, so a daytime Emmy award.
Yeah.
All right, anyway. So we had some contributors that said so, and actually these were pretty insightful, honestly. You really enjoy this. So Shannon, she's contributed numerous times. Thank you, Shannon.
Thank you, Shannon.
She said if she could tell her high school self some advice, she said, boundaries are important. She says, don't settle. Don't be afraid of change. Love it. Love it.
Good one.
MB, so relative of art, California chiming in a little bit. MB says, believe in yourself. Follow your gut. I like that one.
Yeah,
Follow your gut.
Oh yeah, I believe in that myself.
Your
gut will never let you down.
Oh yeah, man. Oh yeah. They say the eyes never lie, and like you said, the gut will never let you down, right? MB says, base your opinions on what you learn, not from other people's opinions. I love that.
Yeah,
it's
very
like
good advice.
There's been times in the past maybe I've started a new job, let's just say, right? And you'll get people saying, "Oh man, watch out for this person." Oh, this person. And it's like you have to push that away because you want to get your own opinions, right? You don't want to judge people. That's great. That's great advice for your teenager because when you're a teenager, man, you're like judgy, right? You're always think about that, right? Again, Nancy, she is contributing again. She says, "Be kind." I love that. Remember, like what does my mom always say, right? But Nancy says here, "Be kind. Reach out to folks who look like they could use a kind word," right?
Yes.
Small acts of kindness change the world. I tell you what, I love that advice, especially giving that to your teenager as a teenager, right? Because I'm a true believer that random act of kindness that we should all try that once a day. Folks out there,
right?
Try one random act of kindness every day. Not only will it make the other person feel like that was great, it's going to make you feel good too.
Yeah.
Even something as random as saying thank you to somebody.
Well, can I?
Yeah, sure.
Every time now, I'd like to say this to you as well.
Okay.
Every time I see anybody in the military,
yeah,
I look at them and say thank you for serving.
Oh, well, thank you.
And I sent that to you and your dad.
Sure.
Before on Veterans Day or whatever.
Absolutely, yeah.
And I also, when I'm out and I see a policeman or something, I always thank them for what they do, or
Absolutely.
when I see the mailman
Oh yeah, they
dropping
got a
up, I'm
hard
like,
job.
thank you for what you do every day. And,
You know, there's been times when, say it was a holiday, but I go to Kroger and there's people working because, hey, people got to
Yeah.
eat. Sometimes I'll thank the hey, thanks for
Right.
coming to work today. I appreciate it. You
I've
know?
actually called the operator to thank the operator for working on Christmas Day before.
Really? See, that's good stuff. Moving on. So hey, remember random act RAK, right? RAK. That'll be our new acronym. RAK. Random act of kindness. Let's go, folks. Get them done. All right. So Debbie, who was a contributor to the last one as well, Debbie says, "Don't grow up. Just stay as a kid." So and I like that. I do like that.
Keep a youthful feel about yourself.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yes.
I mean, you still have to grow up.
Well, sure,
to be
sure.
an adult.
Yeah, you gotta pay bills.
But you
yeah.
wanna like, I don't know. I'm a big kid at heart.
Me too, man. Me too.
I'll sit there. I used to have a Wii. I think it's out of my shed.
Yeah.
I used to have a Wii, and I was killer on the bowling.
Oh, for sure.
But I used to play that all the time. Video games, I love them.
Now, Al, again, lives in Florida. He's contributed before. Now his is a little bit more serious. Because as a teenager, you're like, what did you just say? But he says, ready for this? Buy land, buy crypto. Now, if I'm a teenager, I was like, crypto? What the hell is crypto?
Yeah, what is that?
He says, it's like a different form of money. Buy Tesla. He says, Amazon and Walmart. He's talking about stocks.
I see what he's saying. Get into the stock
The
market
stocks. Yeah.
Of like IBM.
Yes.
Or like going back to the movie
I know what
Forrest Gump.
Okay, yeah.
He was
the Apple.
Was right. He's like, he got me started in some kind of fruit company.
Right.
And it was Apple Computers.
Yeah.
And he said that we didn't have to worry about money anymore. And he's like, well, that's just one less thing.
Exactly. And that's what Al's saying here. I should have read that. He's talking about stocks initially. So basically, but land is great. I've heard that land is one of the best investments somebody can make. Seriously.
Right.
Even if you don't do anything with the land, you just kind of whatever, maybe you camp on it periodically or something, but eventually somebody may want to buy that land and you're going to make a profit.
Look at the guy that owned Woodstock. Because where Woodstock was a whole big field, was it not?
Sure. So he's just kind of saying, hey, crypto, Tesla, Amazon, that type of stock. You first, that would make sense. When we were teenagers, we didn't hear that stuff.
Right.
But when we hear, oh wait, myself told me about this Amazon thing, I might want to invest in that now, before it gets too expensive. Great advice. All right, here's one. Brenda, she has contributed before. Thank you, Brenda. She says, don't quit a job you love because of a manager. They always come and go. Wait them out. Now,
depending on if you're able to.
This is true, yes. Now, I want to go, before I mention mine, and actually, I'm going to look something up on our, talk about yours. What would you tell, and I'm going to look something up.
What would I tell myself if I went back to being
if you go to your teenage self, you go back in time to your teenage self, what advice would you give your teenage self, do you think?
Well, there are several things I would tell myself.
Okay.
If you want me to pick one.
Okay.
One thing, and I mentioned it earlier, being in the boy choir and dropping out, I would tell myself at that age not to do that.
Gotcha.
Even though my father passed, and that was the reason why I gave up on it. It's one of my many regrets. I don't know how many regrets people tend to have, but I have quite a few in my life. But who doesn't, right?
That's a good point.
There are a few others I would go into, but I mean, we'd be here all day.
Oh man, hold on one second here. Whoops. Let's see. There was and one of the things that we talked about, we were talking about if you could bring something back. I believe Brenda, who had contributed to the past, I believe she had left a statement on one of them about, I believe she worked at Van Lunen's for like 28 years.
Yikes.
And, probably
Good
right
for
when they
her.
were, yeah, that's awesome. I mean, how often do you find something? And she had mentioned that, I think she said that she had like the keys to the break room. She still had, like, to this day, she still has the keys to the old break room, so I just thought that was funny. Now, myself, Captain Tom, for myself, if I could go back again, same with you, I can have a laundry list of things that I could
exactly.
but in the big picture, I would just, for myself, I would just tell myself, always have patience. Just always have patience,
Yeah.
That's over the years, you learn that, patience, it pays off. But sometimes, a lot of us, I'm guilty of it. We want something now.
And we fly off the handle if we don't get it.
Exactly, or you say something to your child and they're not doing it the way you expect or something, and maybe you're showing something, you're not patient with them. And it's just, I think that's the best advice I think I would give my teenage self. Just be patient. Be patient. Things have a way of working out, etc.
Do things like don't yell at the kids for coloring outside the lines and stuff like that.
Be patient.
Be patient. Yeah.
All right. So now, hey, a good test to see if anybody's listening to the show. If you have a nice picture of a phone booth, please submit it to us.
You mean a phone booth?
Phone booth. What'd I say? Phone book? No.
You said book.
Phone book. Phone booth. Oh, that'll be a whole nother topic, man. Yellow pages? Oh, man. We could have fun with that one. All right. So that concludes our show for today.
Yeah.
I had a great conversation. I like learning stuff about us that maybe others don't know.
Yeah.
Did you know? Who knew CJ knew how to sing, man? How cool is that?
Well, comes from talented stock.
Must have got it from the family, I guess. Yeah. But hey, like my mom always used to say, if you ain't got nothing nice to say, don't say it at all.
And I want to say I love you all. And when I say I love you all, I mean everybody that watches these shows. I love you all.
All right.
And you all have a good day.
Yes, great. We'll see you later.